Aaron. Ah.
4 plays, man.
4 plays.
4 plays.
But I know a way to fix it. You know. But before we get into it, I do got to tell you, after the game last night, I was still kind of juiced up because I had the Jets plus 3.5 in the under. And somehow, miraculously, the Jets came back with, you know, one of the kids from Neverland at quarterback. Rufio's brother, Zacchio. But there's this show on Netflix called Predators. I'm telling you, man, like Tom Hardy's.
You watched that after Monday Night Football?
Yeah. I was juiced up, man.
Asleep, man.
Me and Millie, my French Bulldog loves the show. Like, she'll watch the animals.
Really?
The cheetahs. And she'll just sit there and like kind of growl under her breath. Like she'd do anything if a cheetah walked in. Neither one of us would. But dude, I watched one about the polar bears.
Was it good? I didn't. I went to sleep.
Dude.
But I did see this meme with Zach. What you talking about? Zacchio? He had the bandana. You know,
Rufio's brother.
Said, lucky for Jets fans, Zach Wilson was still in town after losing to Coco Gauff in the U.S. Open.
That's exactly right. That's a good one. Aaron Rodgers suffers an Achilles injury after only 4 plays against the Bills. Chris Marler from Saturday Down South is going to join us to recap Alabama's loss to Texas and talk about their quarterback situation. And we're going to preview a sneaky big matchup this weekend between Tennessee and Florida. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Now, it seems like Tennessee and Florida's programs are going in opposite directions. But Saturday night in the Swamp, there could be some minds that get changed very quickly if the Gators can find a way to beat their SEC East foe. And while Florida does have some talent, it seems like Tennessee's going to have to give them some help if the Gators are going to be able to win this game. Now, we all know how important the quarterback position is in football. That's no secret. And while Tennessee is 2-0, Joe Milton looks like the same Joe Milton that we've been accustomed to seeing for a while now. Now, he has a howitzer attached to his shoulder. Nobody's going to doubt that. But he struggles to be accurate when it comes to intermediate, short-range, and nuanced throws, and when he doesn't have to hit a golf cart at Manning camp. Now, he does tend to miss high over the middle, which can lead to big-time mistakes that safeties take advantage of and gobble up like hungry hippos. And he struggled early last week. And while he doesn't have to be Drew Brees or Dan Marino, nobody's asking him to be that. If he doesn't make the routine throws routine, then Florida's going to be able to hang around in this game. And the longer they hang around, the more dangerous they're going to become, especially at home when everybody starts to believe. Now, while every player can get better, it's hard to put the ability to be accurate and nuanced as a passer into somebody this late in their career. Don't be shocked if he gives Florida a couple of gifts. And that doesn't necessarily just mean interceptions. It means missing easy throws to stay on schedule or to move the chains on 3rd down and medium or 3rd down and long. It's not always about where you miss, but when you miss. And while Milton is still shaky, one thing is not. Tennessee has upgraded big time on the line of scrimmage on both sides, but especially defensively. Now, we always say you can go from the duplex to the suburbs a lot quicker by getting better up front. And quietly, Josh Heupel's done just that. And with all the attention on Joe Milton and the warp drive offensive system, it seems a lot of people are forgetting that fact. And to be honest with you, it might be the one thing that saves them Saturday night in the Swamp. So don't be shocked if this game is a slugfest late into the night. So Joe Milton, if you're going to take that next step, now would be a hell of a time for Vol Nation to do it.
That's true.
All right, David Cohn, co-host, former Michigan quarterback, my brother, can really level with Aaron Rodgers in this whole Achilles situation. Blaine Crane, former Western State Colorado wide receiver. And guys, we're going to get into the Aaron Rodgers situation. I know a way to Bob the Builder this thing. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. I saw this guy Sunday, but we'll get down to that. When you look at this game, and all the talk's going to be about Joe Milton. He struggled against Austin Peay last week. Against Virginia, looked okay. Is this the game where he kind of breaks out? And I know Florida's not the Florida we're used to, but is this the game where Joe Milton's able to put it together and kind of put to bed some of the, hey, he struggles to make the easy throws easy.
I think it's going to need to be. I think this is not going to be the sort of cakewalk that a lot of people think it is because Florida's quote-unquote down this year or something. And we've been talking about, I mean, you and I have been talking about Joe Milton for several seasons now.
Yeah.
You know, he showed some of the same inconsistency when he was named the starter at Tennessee that he did when he was named the starter at Michigan before Cade McNamara took that job over. Hendon Hooker comes in, ends up taking over that job. And the best ability for Hendon Hooker for last year with the Vols was his consistency. I mean, you know, yes, he had a big arm and could make all these plays, but it was his ability to always be consistent, make the right reads, and make the right throws. That's what Tennessee needs more than anything. What we've been seeing around the country a lot, too, and it's not just a Joe Milton problem, is you have these quarterbacks who win the highlight reel. So they make 5 plays a game that are just so unbelievable that that's all that you think about. And you say, like, there it is. That's what they're able to do, and it makes you forget 3+ quarters of mistakes with football. It's kind of like a golfer that hits a hole-in-one every single round, but somehow they're still 3 over at the end of the day. Well, I'll still take the guy who just, you don't notice him at all the entire round, but somehow he's 4 under after every round. That's what Hendon Hooker was able to do for Tennessee. And look, I know this isn't the same type of Florida team that we've been accustomed to watching for the last decade plus, but you're going into the swamp and you have a quarterback who is, you know, mistake prone. I think Hendon Hooker is going to, forget the 80-yard touchdown bomb. That's not what I want to see. Can you hit 3rd and 4 on the slant route with, you know, extreme accuracy and do it every single time you're put in that situation and go win a game if you're down by 3 late with 4 minutes left?
Without a doubt. And Blaine, looking at Florida, you know, they went to Utah and everybody was harping on Graham Mertz. Look at the signal caller on the other side here. And I thought not having a run game and having to be one-dimensional, going to Utah with a team that could be Kyle Whittingham's best defense, I thought Graham Mertz actually acquitted himself pretty well. Now, he's never going to be an elite quarterback to me, but he did keep them in that game. Now, they've got to eliminate the mistakes in the crucial periods, but the more I look at this game, and I sat down before Monday Night Football last night and was just looking through it, as much as we talk about this quarterback battle, and kind of the inconsistencies of both, including Joe Milton, because we have Joe Milton in Tennessee possibly being able to do bigger things than Florida. This game's going to come down to who can run the ball.
Yeah, and that's what Billy wants to do. If you kind of track Billy Napier throughout his whole coaching career, Billy wants to run it, and Billy wants to run it early. There's a couple things I'm looking at in this game that I think are going to dictate the outcome. One is obviously the quarterbacks. We can sit here and talk about the quarterbacks all day. I've said that before the season started, I don't think Joe Milton's going to be the starter for Tennessee halfway through the year. I don't think he's going to make it that long.
Nico did look good.
Yeah, I think it's going to show in this game. But the one thing that's going to save Joe Milton in this game, well, 2 things. Let me rephrase that. One is his defense. I think Tennessee's defense is extremely good this year. It looks solid, especially in the front 7. And 2, that's going to be Graham Mertz. All right? I don't think Graham Mertz is going to have a great game. I think he's going to come out and make a lot of mistakes. I think Joe Milton's going to make mistakes, but I think the system will save Joe Milton before the system save Grant Mertz. And that's a shout out to Josh Heupel and what he's built there. From a running standpoint, I do like Tennessee. Joe's not going to look good, all right, but Joe's going to do enough to get you the win. But Joe's not going to do enough throughout the season to get you the wins. To get you the wins you're not supposed to win, or the game that you're a little, because if I go back and look at this game, I'm pretty sure Tennessee will be favored in this game.
Yeah, they were 6.5
point favorite. So I'd probably set it a touchdown. But I think Tennessee's a better team in the overall than Florida. But Florida's got great pieces. I'm telling you, this Pearsall kid for Florida, Ricky Pearsall, their receiver,
nice.
We should play a game on offense. And this is what I always believe, and I feel like coordinators should always do this. Play games. How many times can we get our best player the ball? All right? How many times can we throw Ricky Pearsall the ball? They got another great receiver too, but we're going to play game. You want to, and early, coordinators, early, get your quarterback outside the pocket. Make something easy, an out route, a flat route, a swing to the running back, something like that. So it's just what the coordinators do here, but it's going to come down to quarterback play.
That's what they used to do with Percy Harvin.
Yeah, well,
how can we get him the ball?
Well, we know it's a game of matchups, right? The best coordinators, the best offensive coordinators are the ones that can put their best players in the best matchup situation. That's why we talk about depth, is how you drown people, right? Not just in the ocean, but on the football field. If you have 3 guys that can play, well, typically you're not going to have 3 DBs that are All-Americans. You're going to be able to find a matchup somewhere in there, and defensive coordinators obviously are the ones who are able to kind of water down those matchups and find ways to kind of hide those matchups. But we're going to get into our sharps. Tennessee right now, 6.5 point favorite. The over-under is 59. This is a game to me that I know Tennessee goes really fast, but I think with this new clock rule, when they see, I think this game's going to be muddy. I think Florida wants to slow this down. The interesting thing about Billy Napier's offense is you go back and look at him when he was at ULL, and yeah, I call it ULL, write me a letter. The quarterback run game was a big part of this. They'd get in pistol, and they'd run read and different things out of pistol. They'd be able to run speed option, load option out of pistol. And now with Graham Mertz, that's kind of taken away. But Florida does not want this game to be up and down. Florida does not want this game to be a shootout. They want it to be ugly. They want it to be mucky. They want it to be low scoring. And they just want it to be an old-fashioned fist fight in the mud. And I feel like this game's going to be like that because Joe Milton, I think, is a drive killer in some instances on 3rd and medium, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, even 3rd and 4, like you mentioned, off play action. And let's not act. And I don't want to sit here and trash Joe Milton because sometimes he makes good throws. And I think his running ability is more dangerous this year since he's lost that weight. He's a little bit more agile. But down the field, too, he's got a really bad habit of overthrowing people. So I'm very interested to see. That 59 number is huge to me in this game. I was kind of shocked to see that.
My first order of business, if I'm on Florida's defense, is stopping the run.
For sure.
You said the Jalen Wright kid for Tennessee. He's one of the better running backs that we're going to see this season. Tennessee, I know they're playing Austin Peay. That game was, sort of close for a long time, even at halftime, but they rushed for 228. If I'm Florida, I'm making that my first priority. Shut this running game down so that you're forcing Joe Milton to need to make plays down the field. And then if you get him into that situation, then light him up. Don't ever rush 3, drop 8. Don't ever give him time back in the pocket so that he can use this big cannon of an arm and make a big play that'll get him confidence on the road. Stop the run first and then get after him. See if you can get home on a couple blitzes.
So I don't know if I heat him up. I really don't think I heat Joe.
Well, I think you mix it up. I think
obviously, I do think stopping the run needs to be whatever you can do to put more pressure on Joe Milton's shoulders. I agree with it. But when it comes to 3rd down, I don't think you have to heat Joe up. I think you can drop more in coverage and you make Joe hit those throws.
Well,
you make Joe.
I feel like you need to be the most accurate when you're getting blitzed on hot routes, and if you're getting cover 0, man coverage. That's when you need to be the most accurate.
Well, it depends on the pickup. If Bible has pickups, you got to be the most accurate. You're throwing against 8. They're dropping. You're bringing 3, drop at 8.
Here's where Joe Milton creates a problem for his own offense. I'm not worried about showing pressure and getting caught when I bail out because Joe Milton makes incredible throws in windows as my guys are getting back. I can show multiple pressures. I can bring it. I can show it from one side, bring it from another. I can show all-out pressure and drop back because I'm not worried about Joe Milton just dotting me up the whole game. So as a defensive guy, I always like to mix it up from the same look. I like to give you the same look. We hear the word disguise, disguise, disguise. Well, disguise isn't just sitting 2 safeties in the same spot and then letting them rotate at the snap. Disguising is showing almost the same pressure, bringing that pressure, showing the same pre-snap pressure, bringing a different pressure, showing the same pre-snap pressure, not bringing pressure. I thought Texas did a really good job of that against Jalen Milroe the other night of being able to mix it up. Everybody talks about Sark. I thought the defensive plan was really good too. So I feel like the whole menu's open when you're going against a quarterback that you have not seen consistently make those tight window throws.
That's the thing. And I'm not saying blitz every play, but like the type of quarterbacks that strategy wouldn't necessarily be great against, or like a Will Rodgers.
For sure. I'd never do that against Will
McCarthy, or even this Shedeur Sanders, watching like guys who make the right decision pre-snap and who are accurate with the football. It's like you just got to mix it up and just hope you're in the right call at the right time. Whereas someone like Joe Milton, man, to me, I'm getting after him and seeing if I can get a tip ball pick 6 early in the game, something like that.
We used to call it a Neapolitan call. It felt like Neapolitan ice cream. You got chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry in all one. If I put a blindfold on you and tell you to scoop it, hey, it's coming from the same bucket, but you don't know what flavor you're going to grab. That's the kind of approach that I would take. That's patented and copyrighted by Cranico. Also, we're taking live calls today. Want to know what you think about that? 1-855-236-3228. We've just started taking live calls every single day. So just because it's a Tuesday or Thursday doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. Going to get to the Booster Club, which is our live chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button or head over to the Daily Wire Plus. Make sure you sign up there. Hit that like button. You're in the chat. I can feel it hot. Get us in the algorithm. We just hit over 100,000. We want to get to 100 million thousand. But we all know football's back, especially after Monday Night Football last night, regardless of any epic injuries. And speaking of epic, there is another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings. That's who. The best sports book around. They're the official sports betting partner of the NFL. And new customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. And just even if you're not a new customer, all DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. this weekend slate, very interesting. We mentioned Florida, Tennessee. We can go down the list. There's not as heavy of games as there was last weekend, but there's some really, really sneaky ones, including Minnesota at North Carolina.
That's a fun one.
That's a fun one.
That's a fun one.
Talk about styles make fights. So make sure you head over to the DraftKings Sportsbook because life's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, and you can get that $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on NFL football. All right, that's promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. And speaking of being of the crown, you can be the king or queen of Crane & Company merch. We're going to put the link in the chat right now. Make sure if you have not bought a candle, a shirt, all that stuff we got in there that you buy because we want to put a bunch of brand new stuff in there, and we can't until that stuff is sold out. So sell us out because we got some great ideas, and it gives us a lot more ammo walking in there saying we want this, 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 and that in the merch store. So, Booster Club, what up?
Go to Sasha with a $5 donation. Sasha, appreciate it. Says, did anyone else catch the Manning cast reference to Richard Todd?
Oh, yeah.
When Aaron went down. Yeah,
it was going around the family group chat last night.
Richard Todd, celebrity. Celebrity. Cool cat.
All right, let's go to Troy Jacobs with the $5 donation. Troy, thank you. It says, Booster Club Unite starts 1-0 in the Daily Wire Fantasy League.
Yeah, look, got to give Troy some cred. Aaron Rodgers was my quarterback. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Damn.
And you played the Cowboys? No.
And I played against the Cowboys.
Played
defense,
the Cowboys
yes.
D. I played.
It was just it was a Category 5.
I need to.
storm.
I'll give you a hug after the show.
Week 1. I'm gonna need one.
That's rough.
I'm gonna need a hug and probably a letter or something. I brought cupcakes in this morning that Reed made with cookies in the bottom of them.
Really?
Yeah. Rhino didn't want to eat
cookie
one 'cause
cupcakes
too early. Yeah, a cookie and a cupcake. So like the holiday cookies.
Wait.
Like the small ones. Reed put them in the bottom of the cupcake cup thing and then made a black velvet cupcake with cream cheese icing on it. Lord,
yes,
Lord,
I'll take
Lord.
one.
Yeah.
Just when is it too early to eat a cupcake?
I know. That's why I told Rhino, you Statesboro guys, man.
Don't say y'all. I'll eat 2 of them right now.
Can't hide money.
So,
I'll eat 2 on the show right now.
Let's go to Joe Panay with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Joey. Said, I had a nightmare. I saw you boys at an event, asked for a photo, and Cohn said, well, probably not.
What?
This is how I know Penn State will beat Michigan.
I knew this would.
You're damn right, Joe.
You know what?
You're damn right.
I had a nightmare. That's funny because I had a nightmare where I begged Joe for a photo.
I was there. I was
for a photo, and guess what? Guess what? He looked me in the eyes and said, "Get the hell out of my face."
Yeah.
Wow.
And it hurt me, and that's how I know Michigan's going.
Joe, you saw Penn State in those power rankings, man. You saw him in there, moved him up 1. I was surprised you didn't say anything about it, but that's okay. I had a dream that we were all together and took a picture with Joe. And we all said, hey, Drew Aller's good.
And then we hung it in the studio.
And everybody was friends. The end.
That's the dream that we had, Joe.
That was.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you all about my dream.
I don't want to hear about it.
Let's go to Eric Solero with a $5 donation. Eric, thank you. Aaron Rodgers, notorious Cowboys beater, is out. This is truly our year.
Here we go.
Y'all want it, man.
Here we go.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Put it on the shelf, dog.
Congrats, man.
Dak got it
out there.
Get Dak his ring.
Congrats to the Cowboys.
No need to play. Don't put your pads on.
Yeah, just call
Don't
it.
go out to the field.
Just call it in.
We'll have the trophy delivered.
Okay, so that's a perfect segue.
I want Deuce Vaughn to carry the trophy with a little suit and white gloves.
Well, the trophy would carry him.
That's right.
They'd put him in the trophy and carry him around.
Yeah, man. Aaron Rodgers made it 4 plays last night, carted off the field. Head coach Robert Saleh says it looks like an Achilles injury. They didn't necessarily say tear or rupture yet, but Achilles injury.
I saw it.
You know something about that.
I saw it rope in his calf.
But the way that you described Blaine after he tore his Achilles, and Aaron Rodgers is just sitting there on the ground.
Sitting there,
it makes me think
like
one of 2 things. Either one, it's not a ruptured Achilles, or
first of all, I don't want to get medical about
we got to have a
no. We can get real
There's
medical.
Different
about
levels
this.
to I ruptured mine. So there's
ruptured.
Yeah, that's what I got told. This is the language they use.
And he tore his. So what's the difference in that?
Like ruptured is just like you completely everything like someone got a grenade and put it in your
Nobody put a
it in your Achilles
in
and it blew up your Achilles. You tear it, you just tear it off the back, but mine exploded.
Well, I just don't think.
This is what I got told.
I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers was making the same Sacagawea noises that you were making in the back of my car when I was taking you to the hospital.
Well, one person realized he just had to go to the ER. The second person just realized he's probably not going to play football again.
Is he not going to play football again? If this is a torn Achilles.
Josh, he ain't going back out there.
If it's a torn Achilles, 9 months, 11 months, right? They say that's the
6
next
to
year is
8.
even
That's
tougher.
what I got told.
Okay.
It's like possession.
Is he going to play football again?
No.
If he tore his Achilles.
Dog, I'm telling you.
He's 39.
Because what you're worried about now, like the percentage of him re-tearing it is probably so high.
Yeah.
And once you re-tear it, you're basically a chick.
Yeah.
I have the difference.
Yeah. What's the difference? What's the difference?
When you experience a complete tear, it's essentially the same thing as a rupture. Tears and tendons are commonly ripped among people who are in sports. Well, it does say ruptures are less common, but when they do occur, they can be excruciating and can result in permanent damage if left untreated.
Damn, permanent damage. Though.
Yeah, good. Well, add that to the list of permanent damage.
Yeah, with that mustache on.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But either way, what are your thoughts here? Like, obviously, we don't know if Aaron Rodgers can play football again.
I mean, look, I got to see exactly the diagnosis, but if he did tear it, rupture it, slice it, whatever, then I don't think he does again. But I know the way the Jets can fix this. Because look,
Tom Brady's not.
Look, Zach Wilson just not going to be able to do it. I know he threw the pick early and then he was okay. He's just going to check it down and just run around and look like he's going to.
He's got to go catch waves.
Getting ready for that Alpha Gam Chi-O formal all the time. But there's one guy out there who, if you got a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl, saw him the other day getting his
Phillip
jersey. No, Colin Kaepernick. No,
Aaron Hernandez.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady, the Jets. Right? It just makes sense.
Oh.
It just makes sense. New York, Tom Brady. What a better way to get back at Giselle. What a better way to get back at her.
All those years with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Went to a divisional. You're sitting in the booth with Robert Kraft.
Look,
now you're going to go to a divisional rival?
Yeah. It's Tom Brady. Like, I don't care what Julian Edelman tells him while he's eating a bag of Lay's potato chips.
That is true.
Like, Julian, remember, you're Julian Edelman. I'm Tom Brady. You played quarterback at Kent State. I won 6 Super Bowls. So 7 Super Bowls. I'm sorry.
If it's I immediately tank the rest of the year and get Caleb Williams.
No. Well, see, I think the Jets.
Their defense is too good for that.
Probably the best.
Look what they did last night.
Super young.
Which that gets us into the game. I mean, here you are. You're the Bills. You're up 13-3 at halftime. You know at this point that Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back in the game, and you still lose to the Jets. I mean, is this more of, hey, the Jets defense is really that good and they are great, or are we going to have a serious problem with Josh Allen turning the football over moving forward? I try to tell you guys, he had this problem coming out from Wyoming. That was the MO on him. It turned the ball over a lot his first year. Brian Daboll comes in, his offensive coordinator, polishes him up. Brian Daboll left to take the Giants head coaching job last year. There's this sentiment now that around the NFL that at the professional level, coordinators don't matter that much in terms of development. I don't think they could be more wrong.
No, I agree with you 100%. Look, I mean, him and Jared Goff, which Jared's really, I think, limited his turnovers the past couple of years, lead the NFL in turnovers. And
now it's Josh Allen alone, 84 turnovers since entering the league in 2018.
So he had, a fumble and 3 picks last night?
Yes.
And here's the thing about Josh Allen. If I'm playing Josh Allen, where does Josh Allen, and I know he turns the ball over sometimes when he breaks contain, but where he really hurts you is he's more of an improviser than like a method script reading actor.
Sure.
He's a lot better, even on the first touchdown last night, first touchdown of the game. He breaks contain on 3rd and goal and finds Stephon Diggs just basically pulling a Ryan Stiles from Whose Line Is It Anyway in the corner of the end zone. If you make Josh Allen sit in the pocket and throw to beat you, eventually he falters. That's been him his whole career in the NFL. So not that Josh is a bad player. Josh is a really good player. But it's becoming more and more apparent that this turnover thing is an absolute problem with Josh Allen. And when you have Stephon Diggs, James Cook looked really good last night. I thought their offensive line looked pretty good. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Gabe Davis, they've got weapons. But it seems like when Josh Allen has to sit there and go through progressions and he can't just bail. And by the way, he's got to stop jumping so much, especially when it doesn't matter. There's a play last night, it's like 3rd and 13. He runs 40 yards, got 3 guys going to hit him. Instead of sliding, he jumps in the air.
Yeah.
Unless you're Super Mario and there's a coin up there that you're going to hit or a green tunnel that you're going to go down when you jump and land, slide, dog. I know you're as big as a house, but look, the Bills' window's closing. It's closing fast. And Josh Allen just does not seem like a quarterback that is going to be consistently safe enough with the ball to be able to win a Super Bowl.
You disagree?
Yes, I do.
Really? What? So he just doesn't.
I would agree that the picks they're becoming a problem, especially in the red zone. Last year was a problem. They did win 13 games. He did have over 4,000 yards. He did have 65% completion percentage. He threw 35 touchdowns. I mean, Josh Allen. I don't think we're to the picks are to a problem enough that like this. What you're seeing, what you saw against the Jets, it's not going to be close to what you see all year. Jets have one of the top 3 defenses in the NFL on every level, and they're young. So Josh, through the year, had a bad week 1. The last thing I'm worried about, if I'm the Bills, is Josh Allen.
Even though he leads the league in turnovers.
Are you worried about Jared Goff?
He leads the NFL in
Jared Goff, they put up a stat the other day during the Chiefs game that Jared Goff is like 3rd in NFL history now with amount of throws thrown without
those turnovers for Jared
He's
Goff
turned
was
his
very
around,
early.
which is wild that he's done it while playing for Dan Campbell and not with Sean McVay. But he could have racked up, I think he racked up a lot of those interceptions super early.
He did with the Rams.
Here, let's just take the 3rd and 2 play yesterday in the second half. I think it was when the game was tied 13-all. 3rd and 2, Josh Allen's in the pocket. He forces the smash route to the field. He forces the corner to the field, and that was one of his interceptions. To me, that's a throw that, hey, we're down 6 with 2 minutes left, and I have to try and squeeze this ball in. Not on 3rd and 2 when the game's tied, and I know Zach Wilson's on the other side, and they're struggling to score 2. Yeah. That's not where you squeeze that ball in. Yeah. Hit the
and again, nobody's saying Josh Allen is a bad player, but now for the Bills, this isn't about winning 13 games in the regular season. Mm-hmm. This is about winning a Super Bowl. This is a franchise that never won a Super Bowl. Like, screw the 13 games. I'd rather you win 10 games and go win a Super Bowl. But you're not going to get over that hump. You're not going to get through the teams you have to get through and the quarterbacks that you're going to have to face if you keep turning the ball over. Now, I know it was a crazy game, right?
Great game.
Great game. Like, it just, at some point, you've got to grow up. At some point, you can't just go right around the country and that bus, you convert it into a van. Like, you got to get a job. You got to start paying taxes. Like, eventually, you got to grow up and make the plays that you need to make, the smart plays, to win a Super Bowl, because that's what it's about now. And you have a team, and all the Bills have done is try and add pieces to this defense to get good enough and balanced enough as a team where they don't have to go score 30 points a game to win. But Josh Allen keeps turning the ball over. It's his only problem outside of not sliding enough. Those are what I'd say would be the 2 biggest problems Josh Allen has.
Felt like a big winner last night was the Dolphins, to be honest.
Yeah.
In that division. Now, obviously, we're only 1 game in with Tua now, and he hasn't really proven to be able to make it through an entire season without getting injured. But if you're the Dolphins and you're looking in that division, I think I had the Dolphins finishing 3rd. Like, they're looking around now. The Jets could be without Aaron Rodgers. You could be facing another Josh Allen team where, the Dolphins have a great defense too. Like, they've added a lot of pieces.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins have the ability to come up with big games on defense. I think the Chargers are really good offensively too. I think we got to remember that. But Tom Brady goes to the Jets. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Honestly, Blaine, Tom Brady goes to the Jets.
He had his worst year.
You're saying Tom Brady's not coming back after you were the guy that...
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be a good look for him.
Yeah,
well, it looks like you're just a second-tier pick to Aaron Rodgers, to be honest.
Second to Aaron Rodgers?
So it looks
watch your mouth.
That's Tom Brady's. That's why I wouldn't come back. I don't want to be. Look, I'm not.
Well, then why would you have gone to Tampa Bay then?
Because he was the first pick.
Tampa Bay drafted. Tampa
wanted him.
Yeah,
in the first pick.
Say it with your chest.
Tampa Bay drafted Tom Brady.
Basically, yeah, in their head.
Oh, so then,
well, Tampa Bay was there. Tampa Bay wanted Tom. What did the Jets want? They wanted Aaron.
Well, Tom was.
The Jets never reached out to Tom.
How do you know that?
Tom's never said anything about it.
Tom said he's retired.
Yeah, Tom would say, still, you don't think people are reaching out to Tom if he's retired?
You just said they did.
Yeah, but teams did. Did the Jets?
How do you know if they did?
Because Tom didn't say they did. Tom brought up teams that mentioned
So Tom's going to tell everybody that the Jets reach out to him?
So why wouldn't he?
Huh?
Why wouldn't he? Because they didn't, because they reached out to Aaron Rodgers. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if the Jets wanted Tom, all right, Jets would have went and got Tom. Or Tom would have been like, no, the Jets reach out to me, but I don't want to play anymore. I'm retired. But now you want the Jets to go get Tom.
The circumstances have changed.
Got Aaron Rodgers.
They're all different now.
Yeah.
The circumstances.
I'm Tom Brady.
Here's what I know.
I'm Tom Brady. I don't play second fiddle to anybody.
Well, you did when you drafted. You played second fiddle to Drew Bledsoe before your ass got in there as a starter.
Well,
here's the difference. Tom Brady just sat on that stage up in New England and watched Mac Jones play quarterback for the Patriots, was back in the stadium, sitting up there with Robert Kraft, had the jersey on, kids on the stage, watching them play, Tom Brady's one of those competitive human beings of all time, and now Aaron Rodgers just went down on a team that is good enough to win a Super Bowl with weapons around them.
Actually,
it just smells.
Do we have the play?
Yeah, let's run the play real quick. Here we go. Throw it. He had the slant too. The slant was open. That's the worst part of this. And you knew
so much
watch
excitement.
It right here. Just throw it, Tom or Aaron.
Yeah, it was Garrett Wilson too.
Oh. See, I knew when he sat down something was wrong.
You did?
Yeah, it's like when an animal goes to the water to lay down. It's like when you go deer hunting, you shoot one, they take off. If there's any water, you go find the water because that's where they go to lay down. Right there. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. But best wishes to Aaron Rodgers. Man, God, fourth play in. It's a highlight film for 2023. It's not going to be very long. But I tell you, a highlight film that lasts forever, Black Rifle Coffee. You want to know why? Because it's the highlight of my morning. Because I don't even know if caffeine does anything to me anymore. I think it's more of a placebo effect. But everybody knows that we have to have Black Rifle Coffee every morning. Not only do they have ready-to-drink cans for people with no time to brew, but their coffee subscription gives you a chance to purchase limited edition flavors. Flamin' Dragon still in the works, huh?
Takes time, great.
Takes time. Takes time to have them find that dragon egg. You got Power Llama. You got Blackbeard's Delight. You got, what's the other one? The Headless
Horseman's Roast.
You got Gunship. That's exactly right. Surprise, you're dead. September's premium roast is called Space Bear.
I love Space Bear. I've had
Imagine that.
Space Bear.
Space is already scary enough.
Silencer smooth.
Yeah, space is already scary enough. With notes of plum, sugarcane, and citrus.
Wow.
Ooh,
Plum?
fancy. Topped off with a fruity aroma. So, go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, at checkout for 10% off your order. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER for 10% off your order. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee. Da, 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 da. Yeah. All right, we want to get to these sharps. Want to get to them, but first, Booster Club, quickly, and we got live calls.
Let's go to Artistly, formerly known, the $13 donation. Appreciate it, brother. He says, Zach Wilson plus A-Rod's Achilles equals Caleb Williams.
There's just, the Jets are too good. Like, I don't think the Jets could tank if they wanted.
Let's go to Jimbo.
We won 3-2.
Let's go to Jimbo Eagle, $20 donation. Appreciate it, Jimbo. Please have Jake the French Spy read the following.
Okay.
Orange.
So Je suis le plus grand aspirant François de tous les temps. Attrape-moi si tu peux aimer les bonhommes à peine d'épices. Les côtes les vis sont mieux fabriquées in America.
Can't believe you just said that.
I'm afraid about. I have no idea.
I hope he could read that.
Jimbo, if you just set me up.
Okay.
Jimbo, if you just set me up, I'm gonna be pissed.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna be.
You said you're the greatest French spy, and then something about
okay. See, not cool, dog.
That's
not cool. Not cool. What else we got?
Go to Jake Stewart, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Jake.
Jay Stu.
Good morning, guys. Good morning to you, sir. Day 3 of captain upgrade training today. What are your predictions for the KSU Missouri game?
I was looking at that.
Yeah,
one,
we're gonna look. Let's start with sharps. Let's go ahead and get into it. Look, when it comes to Kansas State and Missouri, this is a game that before the season, I liked Missouri to win. I know they struggled against Middle Tennessee last week, right? It's going to have to be low scoring. I think Kansas State is the better team. Do I like Kansas State -5? That's the last time I saw it yesterday.
4.5 right now.
It's at 4.5 right now?
When I clicked on it this morning, it was -1 Kansas State, and the money line was -205.
What?
I was like, what? Nothing.
That's not right.
Sense. So I refreshed it, and it went to -4.5 Kansas State, and that's what I have right in front of me here.
Well, it was -5 yesterday. It got bet up. It must have got bet back down. This is a game. What's the over-under at? You got it right there?
49.
If I'm taking this one, I had some buddies text me, I love Kansas State -5. I'm just telling you, Missouri's good on defense, man. It's like I told you, I had an SEC assistant text me for the season and say, look, Missouri's got one of the most underrated defenses in the country.
They played Georgia to 4 points last year.
I'm just telling you, man, like something sneaky about Missouri, and I know they didn't pull a lot out of the bag against Middle Tennessee. I know they haven't been, super smooth this season, and it hasn't just looked perfect. But again, I'll go back to what we said, like, sometimes against these lower level teams, these guys hold stuff back. I know you had the quarterback competition. If I'm going to take anything on this game, I'm probably going to stay away. This is probably a stay away for me, but I would take the under at 49.5. I tell you two that I really like early sharps. Actually, 3, honestly. And I actually tweeted out 2. These are going to be 2 of my bets this weekend. Last weekend, I was 3 out of 4 on sharps. Hit Rutgers -9, Notre Dame -6.5, Oklahoma -13.5. And I missed the Virginia James Madison under 44.5. I parlayed that with the Iowa money line. But I got Georgia, South Carolina at under 55.5. Then about 2 hours later, it was bet down to 54.5. I'm just telling you, I don't think South Carolina is going to be able to score. You gave up 9 sacks to North Carolina. Wait till those things from Georgia get on the field. And you're on the road. I believe it's in Athens. And Georgia's offense hadn't exactly been lighting it on fire. I think South Carolina's got a whole hell of a lot better chance to slow them down on defense. South Carolina's defense to Georgia's offense than they do vice versa. I would even take that at under 54.5, to be honest with you. I don't like the 27.5 number. I don't, because with the way Georgia's offense has been playing and Shane Beamer, it can get wonky with special teams. Then I jumped on Colorado -23.5 yesterday. My number, I had it at Colorado -27. So I got a lot of value out of that. 4 points of value is a lot. I think the sharps still underestimate Colorado.
Wait, so what did you see Colorado at?
I got Colorado at -23.5. Where's that at this morning?
Okay, hold on. Let me check. Keep talking.
I got it at 23.5. I would not be shocked if this thing got bet all the way up to 27.5, maybe even 28. Look, Colorado State's not a good football team. I know Washington State beat Wisconsin at home with Cam Ward. They beat Colorado State like a redheaded stepchild.
Man, I'm seeing it -18 right now.
You got it -18? No, there's no way. On DraftKings?
Yeah.
There's no way. I got it at -23.5 yesterday. Hold on. We're about to do some exploring on here. Now, I only look at DraftKings. I don't know if you're looking at a different... If this is -18.5, I'm going to be pissed.
Not even a half.
Yeah, I got it -23.5 on DraftKings.
Hold on. I just refreshed again. Because this is what it... Okay, -23.
Okay,
this was -18 this morning when I checked it. And that's what it was. Yeah, -18 when I opened this today, so...
Good Lord. I mean, dude, right now...
Unless they made a mistake on that one.
Yeah, and then the third one I like, Florida State, -27.5 against Boston College. I've watched Boston College. It's not a good situation over there right now. It's down to -25.5.
It just went down?
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm glad I did not jump on that yesterday. I almost tweeted out that bet. God, Blaine, do I let that thing bleed a little bit longer and see if it gets bet down? Why is it getting bet down?
It's at 25.5 right now.
I got it. Look right here.
Okay. Yeah, I think Florida State's going to kill these kids. That's one of my sharps.
I don't think Boston College
is bad. Boston College is bad.
Castellanos has got some witch in him, that quarterback that starts now for him, but he just can't. He's not going to throw the ball well enough. And Florida State's got a bunch of guys from Zeta Reticula 5 running around on defense.
What you got over there?
A couple things here. Like at this point, I always try to find one team that's early in the year that's already on their job covering. And right now, that's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's covering their ass off right now.
They really are.
They got -34 against Central Michigan. Central Michigan is not a good team. They're not a great team. They can't throw it, and the Notre Dame's front seven is built to stop the run. So I think this is a 50-7.
Yeah.
50-7.
Sam's in the Heisman race. You got to give him his flowers.
You got to let me eat a little bit. And one game I enjoyed looking at was, LSU on the road at Mississippi State. Sit 9.5. All right. Sit 9.5 plus 100 for Mississippi State. Money line going off at plus 290. I don't think Mississippi State wins, but I don't think LSU beats them by 10.
What's the over under on that?
I kind of like that.
53.5.
So here's where I'm at on it. This Mississippi State offense is totally different. If you've watched Mississippi State, obviously Mike Leach, RIP. Will Rodgers threw 17 passes last week.
Wow.
Only 17 passes. So Zach Arnett is a defensive head coach. So he's going to play it a little bit more conservative. He understands the important steps, some semblance of balance, run to pass on offense. But now you've got Mason Smith back with Mekhi Wingo and these guys up front for LSU. I don't think they're going to be able to just run Woody Marks at this LSU defense. And when Mississippi State's kind of had LSU's number, right, they've been a team that's given LSU a lot of problems, including on the road. It's been because LSU stayed in man on defense against that air raid offense and would just get murdered by the rub routes and the meshes and shallow cross and things like that. They would just get killed by it. I think it's kind of a different situation now. I just feel, this just feels like one of those games that LSU played Grambling last week coming off that loss to Florida State where they got punked. I mean, Ashton Kutcher was running out there with cameras, halfway through the third quarter. Is this a statement game for LSU against a Mississippi State team that, while I like Arizona, squeaked that one out late, and Arizona was running with them? I don't want to disrespect Jed Fish. I think he's one of the most underrated college football coaches in the country. How much do you trust Mississippi State, even at home, against an LSU team that's pissed, and Mississippi State if they can't run the ball?
So I was going to ask that same question about LSU because we really hadn't seen
I know.
Put
See,
it all
this why
together.
it's
I
almost
don't know
a
that
stay
much
away
about them. Like
to me.
I had the same thought as you when I first saw this. Like, man, Mississippi State at home plus 9.5, and we haven't really been proven anything by LSU.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little bit risky play. I'm not going to touch it, but I would think.
I mean, if you can buy it up for 10.5, feel free.
Oh, yeah. Like
Get the half on that field goal hook, and feel free. But I do think, and I know they got punked by Florida State, but I mean, you do get Mason Smith back. But still, I watched Florida State kick y'all's ass between the tackles. And I haven't watched LSU get their ass kicked between the tackles in a long time. Yeah. Mississippi State's going to try to do the same thing. Mississippi State has an extremely talented quarterback. And if I watch Jaden Daniels for 4 quarters now push the ball down the field, you're going to be sitting yourself a one-possession game walking into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. What do you got?
I like Washington minus 16 going on the road to Michigan State. This situation with Mel Tucker, obviously we talked about it yesterday. I don't know how this is going to play out. I have a hard time believing he's going to keep his job. Now, the interim coach was the secondary coach. He's been with Mel Tucker for 4 seasons, so there is familiarity there. But it's less about this Mel Tucker situation and more about Washington's just going to go in there slinging the ball around with Michael Penix Jr., and they're going to score a lot of points. So for me, the question is, can Michigan State keep up with that? And I don't think they can. So I like Washington.
What's it at?
Even on the road, it's minus 16 right now. Look, it's on the road against a Big Ten team, and with Mark D'Antonio coming back to be an associate head coach, I saw someone sharing the last time he played Michael Penix Jr. when he was at Indiana, Mark D'Antonio won, but this is a completely different situation.
Yeah. Do you worry about the circle the wagons? Hey,
I worry about when I'm making bets. I worry about everything.
No, I know, but like I saw somebody say, "Hey, don't be surprised if Michigan State circles the wagons." I was like, before the transfer portal era, maybe, but how many of those guys on that roster right now are looking around like, well, I can leave really whenever I want, however I want.
Or if you had great personnel, like if this were a thing where like that's what I thought with Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, like, hey, let's circle the wagons because we feel like our coach is not in the wrong here. Let's circle the wagons, and we have the personnel to really just go beat people up, right?
Yeah.
To me, I already liked Washington in this game, so let's just say Michigan State does circle the wagons, put an extra chip on their shoulder because they think Mel Tucker somehow is in the right in this situation, even though he's not, And the best case for Mel Tucker is that he's telling the truth, and it's still not a good look, right?
Yeah.
But that aside, I just think, this is one of those games Washington can go in and win by 20 points and move along with their season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely worth the look for sure.
Another one for me is the Houston TCU over at 64.5. I don't think either one of these teams has proven they can stop anybody. True. So that's one that I'm looking at. And then Penn State minus 11.5. You talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, I looked at this.
You want to stay away from this because of Illinois, and this is on the road at Illinois.
You said it's 11.5 now?
11.5, Penn State, minus 11.5.
What? I saw it at 15.5 yesterday.
I saw it when I wrote these down last night. That's where I saw it.
I think it's
I got it plus 15 right now.
So I don't like it up to 15.5.
I'm not.
I don't either.
Game.
But 13.5 maybe.
Well, people are really, really high on Penn State right now, and they should be. I love Drew Aller. I love that defense. I love Singleton. But Illinois with Luke Altmaier, defensively, with all they lost, I mean, Illinois had what? 4 guys drafted?
The Brown brothers, didn't they?
You had the Brown brothers. Yes. You had Witherspoon in the secondary. They had like 3 guys off that secondary get drafted. And then Ryan Walters went to Purdue to be the head coach. This is a stay away for me. Just because Illinois, to me, like Brett Bielema, we got to see what Brett Bielema can do with talent that he brought in. People forget a lot of those guys got drafted. Lovie Smith brought in. So Brett Bielema, I think, is a better X's and O's developer than Lovie Smith was at the college level, because I think it's a different game than the NFL. Not that Lovie was great as a head coach in the NFL by any stretch of the imagination, but that's an interesting one. Is that a Saturday or is that a Thursday or Friday?
I think that's a Saturday game.
Is it a Saturday?
That's a Saturday game, but back-to-back games now of watching Illinois on defense. I'm not impressed.
I'm not either. I agree with you.
And it's one of the things that I feel like I've been most wrong about.
If it was 11.5, I'm taking it.
11.5 for sure, even 13.5. So if it jumps back down, 15.5 is a little bit riskier. But, I think this is a great opportunity for Drew Aller, young quarterback for Penn State, to go on the road and have a big win.
And not against an elite opponent either, to get some confidence up too. I will say Bama on the road at USF. minus 32. Do you see this as Bama's only 4th true non-conference road game under Nick Saban?
Yeah, I did see that.
And one of them was last year at Texas?
Yeah.
It's wild,
I did see
right?
that.
I don't know if y'all looked at this game or not, but Duke.
I did. I wrote it down.
18.5.
I like it.
At home versus Northwestern. I think Duke.
Wait. Minus 18.5?
Minus 18.5.
Against Northwestern
Unless there's
at
something
home.
missing that I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's like, is Ben Bryant going to piss me off?
Like,
just have that one game where he figures it out?
I wrote it down too. I like it.
That's almost.
Or do you think
halftime
maybe like Duke will get up 17, then all of a sudden like a
debate
physics debate's going to break out or something, or like somebody's going to
might win that one too.
Somebody's going to ask for something like MLA format.
I really like that number.
What about Memphis minus 14.5 versus Navy?
Don't.
David.
No,
betting triple option games to me just makes me want to puke in my head.
I like this Memphis
Dave.
Are they sneaky? I haven't got to watch them yet.
They're good, man. That quarterback.
I know you
Seth
took
Hannigan.
them. Didn't you take them last Saturday and they just smashed somebody?
Yeah, I can't remember if that was one of my leans or what it was.
It was one of them.
I get what you're saying, and Navy could just hold the ball for a long time, but I don't know. Memphis minus 2. I mean, the way Notre Dame beat Navy, I'm looking at it like.
Oh, Navy, believe me, I did a huddle up on defense. We have a problem.
Yeah.
How can we not run zero coverage right?
Here's another one especially for Michigan fans in particular. Bowling Green plus 39.5. Okay. Bowling Green plus 39.5. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and lock this in. Coach Scott Leffler, my quarterback coach at Michigan. This is the biggest game of the season.
Is the under the play? What's the under?
The plays that this guy is going to go dial in
Just
right
read
now.
one. We got Marler on audio. I want him to hear.
Oh, we have Marler on audio?
Yeah.
Here, let's go.
Read one.
Let's go. We got 11 personnel, gun, right stack, ZN, 6-jet drive, X circuit. He's going to be dialing everything.
Won't work.
Huh? 12 personnel, Liz Week, 3-jet scan, X Python, H burst. Look, this is the biggest game for Scott Leffler to go into Michigan and play well. And not only that, but a lot of these guys, we saw Mike Hart was the interim coach for a half last week. A lot of these guys played for Scott Leffler and coach with Scott Leffler. They're not going to go out there and try and win 70-0.
Well, let me ask you this. What's the over-under on dips put in by Leffler in the first half?
Take the over. I don't care what it is, take the over. But plus 39.5, I think that Michigan's going to try and play a lot of guys at the end of the game. They want to get Alex Orji in the game at quarterback too.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, but if Michigan does cover it, and you're a Michigan fan, well then, hey.
Y'all haven't been covering this year versus someone.
So do you think the coach looks at him and says, "Hey, Orji, get in there"?
What else would you say? It's his name.
Just one? He thought it was a. Well, in the video.
This is a great segue to bring in Chris Marler from Saturday Down South. Chris, can you hear me?
Guys, it's too early for orgy talk.
There he is.
I brought in cupcakes this morning. We got quarterbacks named Orgy. There's a guy.
Where are these cupcakes?
I drank a big.
Where
glass
are they?
I did bring them in the control room. They're in the control room.
No, like Jake, he brought in cupcakes. He's like, "Hey, I got cupcakes," and then just left. Like, all right. I was like, "Cool, dude. Don't want any."
Oh God, Chris, I do gotta ask you. How are you feeling? I know obviously you cover everything. We're all a fan of somebody. You're an Alabama fan. How are you feeling after last weekend against Texas?
Well, I mean, first thing I'm going to do is take yet another victory lap because I know that, listen, with social
He's
media.
taking enough.
No, I'm going to keep taking them, Blaine. It's always good to see you. No, because I think that like it always cracks me up because like when you're wrong on social media, people love to tell you how wrong you were.
For sure.
And I, not in like an arrogant way, but there's like few things I've ever been this accurate on. I thought was going to happen. So like I'm disappointed as a Bama fan. I wanted Alabama to win that game. You have a lead going in the fourth quarter, and not only do you lose, but you have 21 points in the fourth quarter. The offensive line play looked awful. You get bullied into submission at the end of the game with like a 7-minute, 13-minute drive where you didn't 7-minute and 13-second drive where you didn't get the ball back. But I tell you what's most concerning is that like you take a lead going into the fourth quarter after everything possible could go wrong. 2 touchdowns called back, just like very like inconsistent play at quarterback. Like I said, the offensive line play. You take a lead into the fourth, and not only did you lose that lead, within 5 total plays, you're down 11.
Yeah.
You give up a 3-play, 75-yard drive for a touchdown, throw an interception, and then give up another touchdown. That's just not like, I don't think any Bama fans are used to seeing that, and that was not a good look.
Yeah, and again, that's why I'll read receipts on Monday. I got to take advantage of the times when I'm right, like Florida, Utah, Alabama, Texas, and I've been on them during the offseason. But Chris, when it comes to what surprised me the most, outside of and Blaine, brought it up that Quinn Ewers' jersey was just as clean as it was when he was leaving the game as when he got there. That surprised me. But the thing that shocked me the most is I don't know how you go through a fall camp and say, all right, we want to transition this offense into more of a pro style. There's some elements of that. It looks like 2013 Gus Malzahn's offense to me with Nick Marshall, especially early with what they were doing with him, and it was working.
Like
you saw him pull the zone read and spit it out. Remember Sammy Coates' touchdown play? The RPO was able to spit it out to Burton there early.
Yeah.
And I think they need to do more of that, but I don't know how you sit there during fall camp and you have these 3 quarterbacks. You brought in Buckner, you have Ty Simpson, you have Jalen Milroe. We know what type of quarterback Jalen Milroe is, right? And I don't think he's a terrible thrower of the ball. I think he decides where he's throwing the ball before the ball snapped, which is a problem. But how do you go through fall camp, look at all that, and say, you know what, we're going to keep Jalen Milroe in a 3-step and a 5-step drop offense and say, you know what, we weren't able to find the quarterback we wanted out of the portal to run this pro-style system like a Sam Hartman or somebody to run it the way we want to run it. So we need to adjust to our personnel a little bit this year as we transition some of these young guys like Ty Simpson into this role to be this pro-style quarterback in this system. Maybe it's the same way that Jimbo Fisher looked at Haynes King and said, yeah, man, that guy can really play.
That is probably the most uncomfortable comparison I've heard yet, and I don't like that at all because Haynes King Joffrey was not a great quarterback.
King Joffrey.
But
he was blonde, right?
It's like the thing with like Milroe, I think you're 1,000% right. There are several times during the game where he rolls out to like his left or like is like moving within the pocket, and he's keeping his eyes downfield. Now, if he completes a pass downfield, we're going to praise him for the fact that he didn't just tuck it and run and do what he can with his legs because he's the best athlete on the field on either side every time he steps on the field. But there were multiple times where he had all the room in the world to run and didn't. And maybe that's something they beat into his head during the fall camp, like trying to make sure he wasn't going to be run first or get happy feet or anything like that. But I'm with you. I mean, I think it looked a lot like the A&M game last year at home where he was going to have to start because Bryce Young was injured. And it didn't look like Bill O'Brien made a single adjustment to the strengths of this kid at your quarterback. Because, like, listen, I think he's limited in the passing game, right? I think we already saw that. And maybe he's got room to grow there, but he's limited to some extent. He's not limited in what he can do with his feet. And the fact that you only had one really design run, I think it was like inside like the 30 where they ran like a draw on first down after a penalty, that to me makes no sense. Like this kid should be getting minimum 5 carries a game that are designed runs. And if you want to bring the 2013 thing, that was a nightmare scenario as well for any fan. But like, yeah, get him going towards the line of scrimmage and like leak a receiver out and like all those kind of things that you could do with somebody that's that big of an athlete. And the last thing I'll say though too is all the issues that Bama had. One thing that we haven't seen, I think, enough of is like it's okay just to tip the cap to Texas and be like that's a really, really good football team and a really good offense. And Sark was dialed in. But yeah, Blaine, like I don't like to give you credit for anything. But yeah, it's a really good point, man. He like Ewers' jersey it looked the exact same as he walked in the stadium as he walked out, and that is not something I think any Bama fan would have saw coming.
Yeah, David. I mean, Sark was Rain Man sitting down at the poker table, blackjack table, whatever it was.
And it shouldn't be surprising. Like, if he couldn't do that, Nick Saban would have never hired him to be his offensive coordinator in the first place when they won national championships. We knew he was capable
Sober
of doing
Sark,
this.
Man. He can dial it
I know,
up.
and I love to see it, man. A redemption story like none other. Chris, Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, they all have a loss right now. But those losses are out of conference. Everything is still in front of them for the SEC West title. I did see a petition start going around to get Nick Saban fired, which, like
get him out.
Alabama fans just don't know how good they have it. But how confident are you right now that Alabama can still move forward and win the division?
So this is like where I'm going to sound like I don't think we're allowed to cuss on the show, but an a-hole. And
Chris,
I know.
How dare you?
It's too much. No, here's the thing. Like Ole Miss could be scary. because they run a high-powered offense, and Lane Kiffin's done a really good job in 2 of the 3 games they've had against Alabama in keeping it really, really close, especially in that 2020 game where they put up almost 50 points against one of the undefeated national championship team that Alabama had. That game is worrisome, especially because it's only 2 weeks away. But I don't want to sound arrogant, but who else is on the schedule that is like shaking fear into you that Alabama's going to lose that game? Because I thought they were going to lose to Texas. I thought they were going to lose to Texas by 10+ points. Like Tennessee, it's only week 2, right? But Tennessee struggled against Austin Peay.
Well, you go to Texas A&M.
You know where you go, Chris.
You go to Texas A&M. You got Arkansas at home, LSU at home, Tennessee at home. So the 3-game stretch there, at least that's at home. At Kentucky, and then obviously the Iron Bowl is going to be at Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, welcome to the Black Pearl, Chris.
Yeah.
You know what happens on that field. Weird thing.
LSU got their back blown out on national television by Florida State. We saw Tennessee looked like they didn't look great like I said this weekend. Arkansas is not a concern. They haven't lost Arkansas since I think the second.
You're telling me that Auburn didn't strike fear into you in that Cal game?
Yeah, come on,
Auburn had 14 drives. Auburn had 14 drives, and only 2 of them were over 5.
Robbie Ashford's in. It's a run.
Yeah, Robbie Ashford, Red Zone Robbie is the striking fear of the heart of Bama fans everywhere. No, but I think that like the whole thing with the rest of that schedule, and I think that people are loving the fact that like you can jump on Bama early, and we haven't seen a loss this early in the Nick Saban era, like at all. Like they have their backs against the wall. We'll see how they climb out. I don't know, but at the same time, like the nightmare for other fans is not just that there's not anyone really on the schedule that's still on paper is better than Bama, but that is necessarily going to beat them. Like A&M didn't look great in Miami in front of a crowd of 28 people, so like maybe it looks better at home in College Station. But like I don't see anyone on the schedule that is like
God, A&M wants it bad, Chris. A&M wants it bad now.
They need it. They need it, dog.
It's like, look, it's just like they're a fiend. They're at the gas station at 3 a.m. looking for it.
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now, so that actually tracks very hard. No, like Tennessee could beat Bama, and this is like the scary part for opposing fans. Tennessee could beat Bama, and Bama could still win the West and get to Atlanta. And there could be a situation like they had in 2021. I mean, like that's the reality of
Bama, Chris. Bama will be the first 5-loss team to make the college football.
Yeah, look, there's never enough losses.
Yeah, like 100%. They'll be the first 5-loss team. But like the question is the SEC down this year? I mean, can we say down when you look around the country? I mean, is the SEC quote unquote down?
I mean, it's like I don't think that. It's very early in the season, but here's the problem: is that the optics of it are really bad. I mean, Ole Miss gets like maybe your biggest win out of conference so far. Am I forgetting one? Where like you go play Tulane on the road.
I don't know. I mean, you saw Auburn beat Cal. I mean, that's
that's the Auburn, the biggest win the SEC has. I mean, there was somebody Tennessee beat Virginia.
Yeah.
Who lost to James Madison, one guy. Yeah.
No, I do think the SEC is down a little bit, and I think that like even and here's the thing in the past where you've seen like your 2 top teams, like say you're like they're top heavy. That's like some of the stuff you hear from the outside looking in. And it's just Georgia and Bama. And then you look at like Georgia's still a really good team. They got a long way to go as a team. Like it's very early in the season, but it's like I don't think anyone's watching them being tied 0-0 against Ball State at the end of the first quarter and thinking like, oh, maybe this is the most dominant team in the country. And then you saw what happened to Bama at home. So yeah, I mean, I think it is like everywhere you look, like I think the Pac-12 is the top to bottom is the strongest conference in the country right now. And if you're being honest with yourself, like this isn't how it might end. But if you're being honest, like, and I work for a company that bangs the drum for the SEC, so maybe I won't have a job after I say this, but they're the 3rd best conference in the country right now.
I mean, look, there's bound to be a year where the SEC where the quarterback changeover. That's a great point, Blaine. They've dominated for so long on the field. Look, they'll still have the most players drafted.
100%.
How much you want to bet? Yeah. Like they one speed bump in a parking lot doesn't mean you can't do donuts in it. So like I think it's that one year where it all comes together at the Pac-12 last year. Of the Pac-12,
they're glowing out.
They're glowing out.
They're glow up right now for the last year.
And so, which conference is second right now? Then
ACC.
I mean, I don't want to say this to you, But I'm not going to say the Big Ten. I'll say the Big Ten East.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, we had the
Well,
West.
I mean, and that was a serious question because, I mean, if you look at like how top, people say they're top heavy with Michigan and the Buckeyes and Penn State, but you're looking at the Big 12 after, the win with Texas there and Oklahoma's looking strong. I mean, it's worth a conversation.
Man.
And the ACC is like 2-0 against the SEC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the ACC is like 4-1 against the SEC.
I'm
You had North Carolina beat South Carolina. You had Virginia lose. You had FSU beat LSU. That's 2-1. You had Vanderbilt lose to Wake Forest.
Miami.
That's 3-1. Miami beat Texas A&M. That's 4-1. The ACC's 4-1.
There you go.
I'm telling you, if Clemson didn't look like that against Duke,
that's what I was just about to say.
I'm telling you, you would be talking about ACC being the second best conference.
You know what? This is good.
Yep.
This is a great, healthy conversation.
Yeah, I love college.
Transfer portal, baby.
I love it. It's great.
Transfer Porto
Rangers.
Maybe we could have done this the last couple of years so we don't change everything. You know?
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, real quick, Blaine.
I'll go to the Bishop Club real quick. Chris, I know you're a Bama guy, but I want to get your kind of pulse around some teams around the SEC. Let's go to Zoki Andrew. He says, Chris, the Kentucky Wildcats offense has fallen well short of expectations. Mm-hmm. Give me a reason to believe that UK can figure it out this year.
So I think you have a mix of what they've been able to do in the first two games. Like, Drew goes off in the first game, right? The kid, the running back that transferred from Vandy, he gets over 100 yards. They haven't played anybody, right? They haven't played anybody. But Devin Leary struggled in that game. And then you look at this last game against Eastern Kentucky. Mostly anytime you play a team with a division in front of it, it's not, or divisional or directional school in front of it, it's not great.
Yeah.
And they, I know they didn't like blow out Eastern Kentucky, but like the game ends with, you score 4 offensive touchdowns, all 4 of them come from Devin Leary. I think that like you have a mixture of what you've wanted to see in both games. Now you just need to put that together. And the good news about Kentucky is that like people don't talk about this because it's Kentucky, but they have a same schedule. Like if there's a G on that helmet, it's pretty much the same schedule as Georgia, right? Yeah. They've got time to figure all that out, and I think they're going to be fine.
I agree.
All right, let's go to Texas Ed. Chris, he wants to know, does Texas look like they are truly ready to take the week in, week out grind of the SEC?
I mean, they look pretty ready on Saturday. I'll say that. And here's the thing: that people love to crap on Sark and Texas, and it's fun because it's Texas back and blah blah blah. And maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe they lose 5 games somehow still, but I don't think anybody watched that game and is like, that's a 5-loss team with no. One of the things people talk about, that the jersey being clean, and one of the most important parts of like playing the SEC is like in the trenches and line play. Mm-hmm. They gave up 0 sacks. That's an offensive line that returned all 5 starters, and you've got multiple 5-stars recruits on there. And again, like in this day and age of football, he's got weapons everywhere. And I don't know how long A.D. Mitchell stays, if he goes pro or whatever. Jatavian Sanders, the world got to meet him the other night. Like he is going to recruit at an elite level to Texas, especially now with all the SEC money on top of the oil money. Mm-hmm. Texas is going to be good for a while, man.
And Texas spending a ton of money on NIL. They're leading the world in NIL right now. I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday. Why would I not just go out and buy the best offensive line and defense?
Yeah, literally.
Now this is legal. Why would I not just go do it? Why not?
But hey, just go buy all the best players.
That's exactly right. But Chris, man, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I know you're traveling. You guys do a fantastic job over there at Saturday Down South. Tell everybody about I know you changed the name of the podcast a little bit, where they can find it, where they can find you on social.
So it's called Saturday Football Uncensored. We have a new episode that came out today. You get to hear me whine for however long you want to about the game and how it played out the other night. But no, it's Saturday Football Uncensored, and then Vern Funquist on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Chris, thanks so much, buddy. Safe travels, and I look forward to talking to you as the season rolls on.
All right, guys, y'all be good.
See you, buddy.
Chris Marler, one of our favorites to have on.
Man.
Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But you know what isn't hilarious? When you got the boys out at the tailgate.
Yeah.
Maybe you're grilling out, right? Remember, we do have phone calls, 1-855-236-3228. Make sure you call in. We want to hear from you. But you go out there, you're like, hey, man, about to fire the grill up, fellas. Mm-hmm. Game starts here in an hour.
Yep.
God, I want it to be Saturday already. I'm starting to get upset. Because I'm cooking some Italian sausage.
Yeah. Are you?
This Saturday.
Good. Can't wait.
You coming over?
Huh?
He's got a horse show this weekend. You want to come over?
Yeah, I'll come over.
All right. He's never coming over.
What do you mean? I came over the weekend before last.
Well, it's up for debate. But you go out there, guys, guess what?
Yep.
About to watch Crane & Co.
Can't wait.
Saturday game day special.
Hit me.
Right? Go to turn on that propane.
Yep. No.
why I didn't.
There's none there.
That's why he didn't come over, man. He knew you're out of propane.
You're out of propane. But with our friends at Cinch, it will never happen that way. All right? They're a propane tank home delivery service. They deliver the tanks right to your door on your schedule and do not require any long-term commitment or subscription. The perfect summer night also wouldn't be complete without Cinch. So go to cinch.com. That's CYNCH.com, or download the Cinch app and use our promo code BOOSTER, right? That's the promo code for every ad that we read, okay? It's BOOSTER to get your first tank exchange for just $10. That's CYNCH.com, promo code BOOSTER. This is a limited time offer, so you must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. So visit cinch.com/offer for details. Use that promo code BOOSTER, and you'll be the one that's all gassed up in a good way. All right. You want to get to a dono real quick before we get to phone calls?
We can catch up on some donos.
Real quick.
On some donos. Let's go to Cole Freak, $2 dono. Cole,
Thank
you. LeBron is mid, MJ's a GOAT, and Rodgers is done.
Yeah.
Let's go to Bryant Ward with a $10 donation. Appreciate it, Bryant. 2 questions for the company.
But I got me a few on.
Should I be concerned about the trajectory of Boise State? And should I be excited for my alma mater, Southern Utah, after the way they played ASU and BYU?
First off, Brian, at Southern Utah, you guys beat us first game of the year at South Alabama, so there's a special piece of hate in my heart for Southern Utah. But you guys are,
But love you, Brian.
But love you. Yeah. Love you, obviously. Me and you are tight. Yeah, you should. I thought they played well. I mean, had a chance to beat Arizona State. You look at the way that they've gone in there and fought. I know they lost some guys in the transfer portal as well, including one to Colorado that's been helping out. But as far as Boise State, I like Avalos. It's a little bit of a different flavor of ice cream. Played UCF really good. I had Joe as one of my dogs on the weekend in Locks, Leans, and Dogs. Y'all almost came through for me. But I wouldn't be as worried. The question, I think, trajectory is what conference you can end up in.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay in the Mountain West? Are you going to merge, to become the Pac West of Mountains 12? Who knows? All right, quick.
Let's go to Calvin Tillman, $20 donation. Appreciate it, Calvin. Florida State fan says, Blaine, take this donation to keep your Achilles voodoo off the Dolphins and the Seminoles this season.
Nice. Well, Tua learned jiu-jitsu.
Aaron Rodgers out here trying to take my shine. Let's go to Jeff for a $5 donation. He said, imagine being the Packers right now. Goodbye draft picks. Great way to exit Green Bay. Skull Vikings. Also, God bless Aaron Rodgers. Speedy recovery.
Yeah, here we go.
I went back and looked at some of those throws. Jordan
looked good.
Love made, man.
He did. But like the Bears, I mean, they couldn't cover a news.
But he looked.
It's so funny. I thought we'd see the opposite. I thought we'd see that next step up, right, for Justin Fields and the Bears.
Yeah.
When really it was just the Packers. I think it comes down to a lot of these defensive head
Bears. What did you not fix? Like, congrats.
You added DJ Moore.
You got DJ Moore. Congrats, but like you.
Well, just stop.
You have the worst offensive line in the NFL.
How about we get him an offensive coach?
Yeah, you have the worst in the NFL. Your reason Justin Fields
more than just
had the most broke a record for rushing yards last year as a quarterback because he's running for his life every play of the game.
Yeah, the offensive line for the Bears, I mean, they got more holes than Camp Green.
That's what we were saying. It was so historically bad last year. Even if they get a lot better, are you still looking at something that's average?
Used to be below
mediocre. So anyway, shout out to Jordan Love for his performance. All right, let's get to some Pongo alerts from
lined
yesterday. Andrew in West Virginia. Andrew, what's up?
Andrew.
Sup, Crane and Co. It's been a while.
It has been a while, man. It's a Stain song out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I got 3 questions for each of y'all. For David Cohn, I heard y'all were mentioning Duke earlier. I'm pretty sure Duke could curb stomp Northwestern because if you look at Northwestern, they were bad last season. They're also going to be bad this year, and they're one of the bottom feeders of the Big Ten. I'm pretty sure Northwestern's so bad Howard and HBCU could beat them. My thoughts on that. For Blaine, is it possible you think that the Giants could bounce back from that 40-0 shellacking by those dang Cowboys? Because last time I've seen a beating that bad, I don't even remember the last time I've seen a beating that bad in the NFL.
On opening day, I believe it was. I talked with someone. It was like in '88.
That game, but I don't think it was going to be that bad.
The last time this was such a bad week on week 1 was in '88.
What do you got for me, Andrew?
And for Jake, do you think a lot of people are saying that the Alabama dynasty is over? I don't think that they're over, but I do believe the Clemson dynasty is over. Also, I forgot to mention, do you think that's it for Aaron Rodgers? Because I'm pretty sure that was it for his career.
Yeah, I think Aaron.
But
go ahead.
Do you think the Clemson dynasty is over? Because a lot of people are saying the Alabama dynasty is over. But I don't think they're done yet. I do think the Clemson dynasty is over. I'm pretty sure because Duke beat them at home at home. If you lose to it, I'm pretty sure Duke broke. Duke, Tennessee, and whoever faced them before broke that Clemson team. So
Yeah, Andrew, thanks for the call, buddy. You want to start Northwestern?
Oh, you want to start with Duke? First of all, I've got a nice little 3-game parlay out there, Andrew, that I think you should trail. It's Duke to win the football game and cover -18. It's Duke to win when they play in basketball, and it's Duke to win the chess match as well. So that's how I'm feeling about
that chess match. Is
that's how I'm feeling about.
What are the odds going on?
Yeah, plus 110. Plus 110.
Really?
Dog bet.
Well, Northwestern's got that one that one Korean kid that they say is next.
Yeah, his name's Korean.
Yeah. He's Korean. His name's Korean.
So, that's what I've got for Duke.
Well, Northwestern's not playing them in lights-off interpretive mass day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Duke.
They're not playing a game called Twist It and Close Your Eyes.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Giants. 40-0 in week 1 against the Cowboys. Haven't seen something that bad since 88, I believe. But no, I do think the Giants can bounce back because of what you've built, what Dayball's built, right? Listen, Giants defense, even giving up 40 points, they're on the field the entire game. The Giants defense is pretty good. I think they'll have a solid year. Daniel Jones can't look like he's about to run into traffic every 10 minutes. He gets on the field. Every play, Daniel Jones looks like a deer right before he gets hit by a car.
I just
right before
love
the
how
snap, his eyes just get this big. Like, dog, it's like you're supposed to love this. All right, if you don't want to play, then don't play.
I don't think it's it's not a passion thing.
Yeah, did you hear Geno Smith with Aaron
Donald 7 times?
Another thing I want to say, Brian Dayball.
Geno Smith said, "Oh my God," when he saw Aaron Donald on that twist.
I get that.
It's not a passion thing.
Dayball, let me tell you something. All right, if I have to sit another Sunday and watch Saquon Barkley not get 20 carries, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, David, if you're an offensive guy. You played quarterback in college, all right? If a D-line, the D-ends are just screaming upfield.
Screaming? I'm screaming. If they're screaming, I'm screening.
You're screening, right?
Screaming,
we're drawing. We're screening, okay? And I didn't see one of those for the Giants. They'll bounce back, but 40-0, I think it said more about the Cowboys' defense than the Giants.
Long season. Quickly, Andrew, look, Alabama hasn't been to the playoff in, 3 years?
They won in 2020.
Like they win in 2020, so we're going. And when we say dynasty to me is winning 3 championships in 5 years. That's a dynasty to me. That's how I count it. So I don't think the Nick Saban era is over of having a ton of success. But I do think it's Georgia's dynasty hour right now. I think Georgia's the only team with a dynasty right now, having won the last 2. So in that sense, I don't really I think we throw that word around dynasty too much. And you look at Clemson, unless Dabo's going to budge on the transfer portal and get out of his own way. Clemson just looks like a 2A private school that's going out there trying to play against.
Is it that, or did Clemson just miss on a quarterback?
No, I think Clemson's look at the skill position. Like outside of Will Shipley, they don't have any of the type guys. They can't get separation against Charleston Southern. So it's a problem. I think they've missed on guys not doing the portal and not evaluating high school. But Andrew, appreciate the call, buddy. Have fun out there in West Virginia. All right, backyard brawl this weekend. I'm going Mountaineers.
I'm staying away from it, man.
I'm going I picked Pitt to win 3 games.
Yeah, you did.
And Cincinnati beat them on the road. And Pitt fans gave me hell when I made that pick. Hey, guess what, Pitt fans? Don't let that happen. You let that happen, be hell on this app.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. All right, thanks, Andrew. All right, our second Pongo alert. Steve in Ohio. Steve, what's up, man?
Stevie, let's do it.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, you guys know what I'm here for.
Let's do it,
Steve.
All right. 3 players, 4 stats.
Let's go.
One of the stats will apply to all 3 players. The other 3 stats will apply to 1 player each.
We've hit the last 2, right?
Correct.
We missed football, though.
I
still can't believe that all 3 of those guys had over 1,500 yards.
Oh, that was
right.
That one actually shocked me.
That one hurt.
I feel
that one
shocked.
hurt. The old Eagle.
But what you got for us today, man?
All right. Now, to win, you got to identify the stat that applies to all 3 players.
Yep.
Correct.
Now, I won't be able to give a clue this week because Blaine welched on the last one.
So wait a minute, Steve won't be able to give a clue? Wow, that's a first on this and Blues Clues. See what I did there?
All right. I tried to do football last week, and you guys blew it. So
we got it, Steve.
Steve, you don't have to rub it in. Can you read us the question so I can get this wrong and be pissed?
All right. Today's going to feature 3 of the greatest closers in MLB history.
Okay.
Each of these men have been the all-time save leader at one point, and we're going with Lee Smith,
What a name.
Okay.
Trevor Hoffman,
Oh, yeah.
and Mariano Rivera.
God,
That's
Trevor
1, 2,
Hoffman and
3, isn't
Mario
it, on the saves list?
Yeah, goodness.
Correct. Lee
You're
Smith
out.
Lee Smith was the all-time leader, and his record was broken by Hoffman, and Hoffman's record was broken by Rivera.
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay, now all of these are career stats.
Okay, so not from a single season.
Not just a single season. These
All
are
right.
career stats.
Hit us.
All right, the stats are less than 300 walks, over 1,200 strikeouts,
That's a lot.
over 1,000 innings pitched, and 0 starts.
Okay, so hold on. All right, I think.
God, 0 starts is just too easy, David.
So the
1,200 strikeouts.
I think
It's got to be. It's got.
Mariano Rivera didn't hit 1,200 strikeouts.
It's got to be.
No way.
It's got to be innings pitched. Was it over 1,000 innings pitched?
All right, hold on. Let's just start with. So Smith, I think he was the strikeout guy. He had fewer saves than those other guys because they broke his record, but
I agree.
more strikeouts.
Yeah.
So I think he's strikeouts. What was the last clue?
0 starts.
That's too easy.
Mariano Rivera started multiple games.
I believe he did.
Um,
I think in the playoffs he started. No, I'm tripping. Not in the playoffs. So there's 162 games a year, right? 1,000 innings pitched. If you played 10 years in the league, right? 10 times 162.
I mean, Mariano Rivera and Hoffman both had over 600 saves.
Yeah, something like that.
So-
It's just like I know Mariana has over 1,000 innings.
Okay,
That's
and
Trevor,
I know
if you have
that
to be a closer.
If you be,
If, top 3 closer in the MLB, you've thrown a lot. I think Trevor Hoffman's over 1,000 innings pitched. The one I don't know is Lee Smith.
the one I don't know is the walks. I have no idea how many these guys walked.
What was the number for the walk?
strikeouts for Smith? What was the number? 300 walks?
Less than 300 walks.
Yeah, so that one I would just be guessing at.
Mm.
Say Smith was strikeouts. Mariano Rivera started games.
yeah, I think it's innings pitched.
Okay, let's do it.
I think it's innings. 1,000
pitched.
innings pitched.
All right. The correct answer is over 1,000 innings pitched.
Let's go, man. That's how we do it
I
around
love
here,
it.
right?
Yeah. Take
Got
that,
starts,
Steve.
Okay.
innings pitched. Surprise,
Less
you're
than
out.
300 walks. Less than 300 walks was Rivera. He only had 286.
Yeah.
The over 1,200 strikeouts
Smith.
was Lee Smith. He had 1,251.
And Hoffman never
And
started.
the only one to
Yeah,
never
Hoffman
start a
never
game was
started.
Trevor Hoffman. He had
Let's
I
go.
love it.
Steve, great job, man. Great
Thank you,
call.
man.
That was a good one. That was a fun one.
Appreciate it, Steve. All right, let's go to Shelton in Florida. Shelton, how you
What's
feel
up,
about
man?
Florida-Tennessee game this weekend?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you guys having me on. Great show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited for the game. Honestly, I heard you guys earlier talking about it. The biggest thing that excites me about that game is the fact that we're even considering that Joe Milton may not be what we expected him to be. 2 weeks ago, this game was said and done.
Yeah.
And the Gators in it.
Yeah. Well,
I circled this one before this.
Well, Shelton, we've been talking about it even during the offseason that, and cut a lot of hell for it. People are like, why are you hating on Tennessee? It's like, look, I picked Tennessee going 9-3 and Joe Milton to be the same Joe Milton that we've seen. Eventually, if somebody continues to show you who you are, you have to believe them. And this isn't like a J.J. McCarthy thing where you can increase your arm strength by go lifting weights and be able to fit that ball in there and you have nuance. We've questioned Joe Milton the whole time. And again, I hope by some miraculous way that he's able to pull the sword out of the stone and now all of a sudden he can throw the lollipop and he's overtly accurate. I just don't think you can put that in somebody this late. Look, this isn't major league. Like, yeah, Ricky Vaughn figured out that guys don't figure it out like that a lot. So I think Florida's got a legitimate chance to win this game. It's to the point now where it's at 6.5, and I am not betting this game outside of that under 59 that we talked about. The more I think about it, maybe my favorite sharp on the week. That's a lot of points. Like for Florida and Tennessee to score, because Florida's defense, I think, is a little bit underrated. I know they're good. I think they can run. I think they're physical up front. And Florida's offensive line does not impress me with what Tennessee's done in the front seven, Shelton. So the fact that we're talking about Florida even having a chance in this game, which is weird to even have to say, to think that Florida would we have to talk about Florida being so down that they barely have a chance to win a game. I do think if Billy just wants to make it ugly and muddy, they just need some semblance of a run game. Florida does, and this one's going to the fourth quarter at home in the Swamp. And watch, Florida somehow wins this game, all of a sudden,
that's it.
The narrative switches overnight like that.
This game will save Billy's career for Florida if he wins.
I think something to note, too, again, Florida fans are familiar. You kind of consider Milton, a great value Anthony Richardson in a sense, where, look, he can hit short passes. That was the biggest narrative for Florida last year, is can Anthony hit those passes? Has every other attribute. But
he's the diet sugar-free version of Anthony Richardson, I would say.
Exactly. So we're familiar with that. We saw a lot of that last year. Again, somebody who can win a lot of football games for you, but also can lose a few. I think what Graham Mertz brings to the table is his 30 starts and his, again, it's something that Billy has.
You're good.
Praise is having that experience in the backfield, which again, love Anthony. Nothing but the best wishes for him in Annapolis. But 12 starts under his belt, and that all came from last year.
Up and down.
Great in that regard, having somebody who has experience.
That's exactly right. Shelton, great call, man.
Thanks,
call
Shelton.
back again.
We appreciate it, man. Call in next week. All right, we got Michael M. in Texas. Michael, what's up?
Michael, what's up?
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Sir?
Good. Hey, I called last week, and I asked y'all's opinion about who should I start, Geno Smith and Trevor Lawrence. So I just want to thank you guys for
you went with Trevor.
giving me the right pick.
You went with Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy.
It didn't look good in Seattle, boys. It didn't look good.
Well, I know Geno Smith, he screamed, "Oh my God," when Aaron Donald was bearing down on him. I don't think Sunshine's screaming when he's in the same situation. I think he's too cool under pressure to do that.
Yeah, you don't have hair like that.
He's trying to duck under guys and have them jump over them.
Yeah. But I also wanted to talk about last night's game, and I don't know if y'all talked about it a little bit. I missed part of it because I was at work. But so I'm a Bills fan, but the whole game, I guess, upset me, even though it was a great game. One, because we lost, and Josh Allen, I love the guy, but I hate that he's making so many mistakes. And I know, credit to that Jets defense, they played out of their minds and forced him into those mistakes. But it killed me when Rodgers went out. And I mean, I guess, I don't know. I hope it's not the end of his career, because I was so looking forward to having him in the AFC East, and we go against each other twice a year. But yeah, the whole game just made me sad the way it went.
Well, man, as a guy who just went through an Achilles tear and whose, intramural career is over, I don't know how Aaron's going to come back. I really don't. But it was sad, man. It was just like that. Like, I think it says a lot about the Jets, their coaching staff, just to be able to rally the troops after something like that happened.
Xerxes' son, Robert
so early. He came out with the American flag. He was Mr. Fixer. He was going to fix everything. He was our king. Well, the king gets dropped early. You rallied the troops, and you won that fight.
Well, think about it. The generation of quarterbacks that we grew up watching are now out of the league. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, now Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan. It's a turning over of a new generation, and not with it just being Aaron, especially the way it happened, with Aaron, when you feel like, hey, man, maybe this guy could actually go out winning a Super Bowl with a team like the Jets, and we'll see. Anybody that locks himself in a cabin in the middle of the woods with the lights off,
okay, so he's not coming back this year.
No, hell no. No, if he tore his Achilles, he's not coming back this year.
Okay, I guess we have to...
Unless he is Achilles, and I don't think
MRI's
he is.
back to see if it's fully torn.
I guess one more question, I guess, for you guys is if he does, if he's able to come back, I don't see him. If he can't come back, I don't see him ending his career on that. I would imagine
I don't either
to let that happen.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I think.
Tom played till he's when, like 44, 45. So there's precedent. The question is, I think Aaron though knows like when to say when.
I think he does too. I think he knows when to say when. But like, I think Aaron's one of those guys. Like, if you piss him off, no matter what it is, he's going to stick to whatever the hell.
So like Robert South's like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, you're not changed. Like, once you say he can't do something or you try to change his mind, no, he's set in stone. Sure. So we sit up here every day and say that he's done, he's not going to play. Okay. Definitely. Like, we'll see. We might see him in a Jets jersey next year.
Yeah, well, Michael, we hope we see you.
Great call, man.
Next time.
Appreciate it, Michael.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, so for tomorrow, we got Mike from Colorado, Clint in Texas. You guys call in tomorrow.
Mike from Colorado. He wants to talk about this Colorado win. You got to call tomorrow, Mike. I don't want to brag. I know you want to call tomorrow, and you got to be able to talk your ish.
Hey, just remember, we're teening.
Look, at the end of the day, nobody hates Colorado here.
They hate Prime. They hate Colorado.
No, oh my! Why do you keep saying that?
Why do you keep making up lies?
This is what I heard.
By the way, we got to talk about the Nebraska thing with being on the
middle of the field. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, well,
I heard about it. I haven't seen the video.
Teams pray on the middle of the field all the time.
Were they praying
before the games? Yeah,
they were praying.
That's what Matt Rule said. Like that's
okay then.
Well, to Colorado's like, yo, disrespected us, man. Like coming on. I just think they're trying to manufacture stuff. But anyway, it's
people are saying that they were not praying. That's been like the biggest critique.
They're saying they're
who cares? They're walking on the field.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk on the field. Like you got a problem.
Every time we went on an away game, you go and look on the field and see where
the field. You look at everything.
Like play clocks are.
Look, I'm on the Colorado train. Like the
Colorado's like, man, guess what?
Just quit.
Colorado's like, man, guess what? They flew in a plane over here.
Yeah, quit.
You know what that means? They think they fly. Man. They think they fly. That's what Prime saying. Oh, you fly?
Take your Louis bag and shut up.
Man, you won. Good luck. Good luck against Oregon here in a couple weeks. Please murder.
Oh, that weekend, line, right? You can get that. You can actually get that game now. It's 14 and a half.
I will put everything on Oregon.
You can get that line right now.
I'll dig it up from the yard, get the bag of money out, put it on Oregon.
Next, you want to put it on Colorado.
14 and a half.
Well, you're a contrarian. Our Booster Club bets are brought to you by DraftKings. Life's more fun when you're in on the action. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Do it now.
Do it.
Do it now.
God knows.
And use code Governor. Use code Booster, BOOSTER, because new customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on NFL football only on DraftKings Sportsbook. With code Booster, the crown is yours. All right, what do we got today? Here's what we got.
Friendship.
Yesterday, congratulations, boys. Blaine hit a plus 650. Jets anytime touchdown on defense special teams. Also hit Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown.
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown. It was Baby Cone, right, that hit Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, yep.
That had Garrett Wilson touchdown. And the Jets money line. I had the Jets Bills under 45.5 and the Jets plus 3.5. And you hit...
I hit the largest lead under 13.
I knew that was a good bet, David.
Plus 100.
And it was 13, wasn't it? Or was it 10?
I think it was 10.
It was 10. That was such a good bet at plus money.
13.5.
So let's stay hot. I mean, we should be back in positive units for the month now as a group after that one, thanks to that plus 650. Look at you over there just mean mugging with that stash on.
Garrett Wilson.
Like he just walked out of a saloon.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, all right, here's what I got tonight. We have to bet baseball. God! Hate doing it, but we got to get our groove on. Give me the Rangers, Blue Jays, Nerfy, Cat Eyes versus Hyunjin Ryu. Who? Hyunjin Ryu. That's minus 110. Then, this is big. All right, Sergio, I want you to hear me on this one. I'm taking the Royals money line, game 2.
That's smart because Tukey's pitching for the White Sox.
Tucson, a.k.a. batting practice Tukey, is taking on Jordan Lyles,
Dookie,
right?
Even though the way things are going,
Tukey.
White Sox will probably,
And then Dylan Cease is in the first game, so they're going to lose.
the first game.
Yeah, so they're going to lose.
I'm not touching it.
And then do what?
Dylan Cease can.
He can, but they lose every time he's on the mound. Poor David's taking him every time he's on the mound.
I don't want to talk about. I guess the Royals. Come on.
Yeah, golly. All right, David, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to go Braves, Phillies, Nerfy,
Love it.
minus 110. And then give me the Rangers money line, minus 110. They're on the road, but I think Scherzer's throwing tonight.
All right, hit a couple bets yesterday. Bets I didn't want to hit because that means I lost in what? Lost in fantasy. Also had another bet out there, a little two-legger to win $1,600. Dalton Kincaid over 2.5 catches. And Garrett Wilson over 5.5 catches. Garrett Wilson ends with 5 catches. Thank you, Garrett.
Aaron should have done the slant.
On that slant right there, it hits, baby. Or not take a punt back in overtime. But anyways, I'll cry about that later. I'm going back to the well here. All right, give me Tampa Bay on the road plus 1.5. That's minus 180. I'm going back to the Rays. They've been treating me well. And I'm also going to be bet buds with you, Dave. We'll give you the Braves, Phillies, Nerfy. You got Wheeler on the mound. Who's on the mound for the Braves?
Max Fried.
Max Fried's on the mound.
So it's either going to be really good or really bad.
Let's just get out of that. A lot of sliders, a lot of sinkers. Wheeler loves to come with the first pitch fastball, which worries me with Ronald Acuna up there. Let's make sure to hit a slider, sinker. Enjoy being at first base.
All right, Ace Cone, he's hot right now, like Hansel at the Male Model Awards hot. He wants the Braves minus 1.5 on the run line. That's a dirty plus 130. And then the Astros minus 1.5. And minus 145.
Something about Astros bets is just doesn't sit right with me.
Donos, let's get to him.
Trevor Canifax, one of my car facts. I want it now. $5 donation.
He can give
It's
facts.
week 2, boys. Should I start that Ayuk against the Rams or Keenan Allen against Tennessee? Buddy, you start Brandon Ayuk.
I don't know. I don't know because they targeted Keenan Allen a ton for the Chargers. Brandon Ayuk scored 2 touchdowns. Best believe that teams are going to start kind of flirting over to his side a little bit. I would buy a Deebo Samuel.
But I think it's a lot to do with the teams they are playing. Tennessee secondary-wise, D-line's one of the best in the league. Secondary is extremely good. Don't let the Rams secondary fool you to thinking that they're extremely good at what they did. The Seahawks, they're a down defense this year.
No.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to do these donations and we can wrap. Let's go to Grant Deal, $5 donation. I'm heading to Chapel Hill this weekend with the family. Congrats, Grant. Got tickets in the pop box.
Yup.
What difference could Tez have made for us this year? Go Hills.
Could have made a big difference because Drake May's a witch.
So to Devin, 21. What's up, Dev? Can I get a motivational speech from my 5-year-old Michael? He has his first baseball game today. Second year of doing coach pitch. Jake, quickly.
Yes. Michael, hey, hit the music real quick. Michael, look, your coach is pitching. You're hitting. Surprise, you're always hitting. It starts now. The race to the major leagues. Could you be Mike Trout? Could you be Shohei Ohtani? No, you're better. You're Michael. So go get after it tonight. Just know every time you're up in that box, I'm up there with you, dog. Go have some fun.
Go get your money's worth, Mike. Go up there and
live life dangerously. Guess fastball.
Got a Ryan Gade, $5 donation. That guy on Twitter who pulled a Babe Ruth and called his shot should buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, he is. Or we should investigate him with the FBI.
Yeah. I thought that all was encompassing. Okay.
Yes.
So to Mockingbird, $20 donation. Unlike the NFL, when 2 great college defensive play, def play shootouts aren't uncommon. Men say defense. So because of speed, communication, when a play breaks down, it's easier for Stroud to hit an improvising Harsin and 11 GA defensive players sticking together. That was really oddly
I have no
worded.
idea what.
Yeah. That's hope.
Right. Let's go to Coffee Guy. What's up, Coffee Guy? $2 donation. How much of a chance do you give OU to beat Texas?
Look, it's the Red River Shootout. It's a rivalry game.
I don't think they're going to lose by 50 this year.
Suburban Bowl. Poll.
Will Aaron Rodgers play football again?
I think they said yes, 56%.
Yes, 50. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a good one. 57%.
Yes. 47%.
Really?
Doesn't believe.
Really?
He's done.
Look, we love it. We love you. Hit that subscribe button. Got a great show for you tomorrow. Tim Brando's joining us.
Uh-oh.
Texas fans.
Uh-oh.
Come in here and talk your ish. And like the chances of Aaron Rodgers coming back this year, we're going.
He looked at it, dude. You can't.
Gone. No, I caught it.